Alright, so we're going to go over in this short video tutorial how to use basic text and like image editing software. So I highly recommend that you, if you don't have it already, you see up here in the top left, Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. If you don't already have this application, I highly recommend you download it, since a lot of this stuff you can do within Adobe Acrobat. But if you don't have Adobe Acrobat or you can't get access to it, the other option might be to use, if we go down here to Paint, we might also want to use Microsoft Paint, which we can see here. So first things first, we want to go back to our PDF. So you'll see that we've got a few options over here on the side. We're not going to worry about that. If you click on the tab right here, it'll close that out so you get a bigger view. There's also options over here that you can attach stuff and alter sheets and what. There's a few basic things you can do in Adobe Reader, but we're not too concerned with that. You notice the first thing is that it's on its side. If we right click and then click rotate sidewise or clockwise, it'll orient it 90 degrees clockwise. And then if you clicked it again, it would go 90 degrees again, and so on and so forth, until you get back to where you want it to be. We can also enhance the size, so if it's hard to read, you can make it larger. Let's just go ahead and make it 100% here. You can also use these. And then this tells you how many pages there are. So this is an 11-page document. We can scroll down. So one of the few things that I'll be asking you guys to do in this is, now granted, this is an exercise that you would have been doing in person, but because this is an online class, we're going to have you doing it in Adobe Acrobat or MS Paint. So you want to rearrange these cups here. So one of the ways you can rearrange these cups to get them in a seriation or an order or a sequence, you can do a few things. We're going to do the thing in Adobe Reader first. So we want to take a snapshot. So if we go to Edit and then we go down to Take a Snapshot, let's just start with number 9. I select the area. I'm holding down the left mouse button, and then when I let go, it's going to take a snapshot. It's going to tell me. We can click to see if we don't want this message shown again. I always like to show it just in case. Then I click OK. And now I can either take this into a Word document. We'll just open one up here. Now I can either Control V, or I can paste it as a image or a picture, I should say. Now that's going to have different options in Word. I'm not too worried about that, since all we're worried about is putting them in the right order. But then we could also, if we go down to Paint, we can also do that in Bada Bing Bada Boom Paint. So we could line them up that way as well. So if let's just take another one here. Still in the editing, I haven't gone off of Take a Snapshot. It's still selected, so I can keep going in here and just adding new ones. And then moving this over. Now these two probably aren't going to be in the seriation like this. Other things we could do, we could, if we wanted to, we could take a snapshot of the entire figure. And then we could go into Paint. And then we could then go to the select tool up here and do basically the exact same thing. I can now move this anywhere I want, and then when I unclick on it, it's stuck like that. So you might want to know how to use the undo button, which is up here in the top left, or you can use Control Z, which will undo it as well. You can also, if you don't feel like going all the way up here, or moving it around like this, if you feel like auto moving it up to the top left, what you can also do is Control X, which is cut, and then Control V, which is paste, and then it'll put it right up here. So there's a few options you can do with that in Paint. And then obviously if you want to make it smaller, you can readjust the size. You might want to note things down here in the bottom, like the pixel ratio. So this is 572 by 578 pixels. I'm not super concerned about resolution, pixel size, saving as a JPEG, PNG. Doesn't really matter to me. So when you go to save it, oh, we don't need to worry about that. We could save it in one of these files. We could save it as PNG. TIFFs are larger. PNGs retain a lot of stuff. I prefer not to have things saved as HEICs. PNG, TIFFs, and JPEG, oh there it is, JPEG, are the preferred ones that I like using for this class. Again, since we're not concerned with image quality, we're concerned about content, I don't really care about the different image types. You can also, within Adobe Reader, you can also mark up your, oh no, I don't want to add a signature. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. Close. So if I go to highlighter, I can highlight where I want to go with things. So if you're, say, wanting to draw connections between things, which I believe you're asked to do in exercise 7.3. If you want to connect things, you can do all sorts of things if you wanted to. And then again, Control Z is going to get you out of those as well. But you can also do the same thing in MS Paint, or in theory, whatever photo editing software you're using. I'm just using Paint because these are ones that are standard for most PC users, but I can draw like this if I really wanted to. I'm just clicking the left mouse button to use the drawer, and then, or the pencil, gosh, not the drawer. And then I can point like this. I can also, if I wanted to, I could just take these arrows and then play around with them. I should be able to rotate them, or if I can't rotate them, pick the one in the direction I need. Which you may have recognized this from our compass exercise assignment. I just simply took an image and then I put an arrow in it because I don't really care about how pretty it looks. I'm just trying to communicate where something is. So those are a few basic things that you can use Microsoft Paint or Adobe Reader to make modifications to printable document or just any text-based or image, whatever you might be dealing in, so that you can do this assignment and not have to print it out, do it by hand, and then scan it in again. You can just send it in that way. Oh, I'd also like to point out in this exercise, let's not worry about these comments here. These are from one of my professors, actually, old professors. This is a very old copy of the project, but we don't need to worry about his comments, and if anymore, if you could read his comments, kudos to you, because his handwriting is very difficult to read. But hopefully that helps you in getting a basics on how to use Adobe Acrobat or MS Paint to complete the seriation exercises.